Hello, and welcome back to the Take a Break podcast exclusively here on YouTube. I am your host, Casey, and welcome to episode 8, where we will be talking about the Nintendo Switch post presentation. This is the post show. I know I did the pre show, this is the post show. And as you know, this is the podcast where we take a break from the hectic pace of life to discuss various topics, from mundane subjects to thought provoking ideas. Podcast format is simple. We have the intro, topic of the day, and then community chat. To become part of the community chat, send me your responses, questions, comments, requests, etc. via email only at takeabreakpodcast@gmail.com. All right, how's everyone doing? This is being recorded on Monday, January 16th, 2017. But it'll probably be uploaded on Tuesday the 17th. And yeah, how's everyone? I'm a little late to the party. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. I recorded my pre-Nintendo Switch presentation. For those of you who know, there was the Nintendo Switch presentation on Thursday, January 12th. So that came out, and I actually wanted to record the episode this weekend, but life got kind of busy and things like that. But I am happy to report that I'm recording this podcast now. So yeah, a couple days late. A lot has been going on in terms of the Nintendo Switch. It's pretty much a buzz of activity, which is pretty nice to see. Lots of people are talking about it. There's lots of reviews and comments and posts. And, I did my pre-show and I thought, let's go ahead and do my post-show. So this is it. Now, but before we get into that, I hope everyone was well. I hope they had a good weekend. I actually had a great weekend. Very relaxing. Did some furniture shopping. I went to see a new chiropractor. That was a great experience. Actually, so much so that I'm thinking a future episode I'm going to talk about chiropractors and my experiences and thoughts on them. And work was okay today. Work is work, but whatever you're going through, I hope you're doing well. Also, too, I've been thinking of making a formal mission statement with this podcast, like why I'm doing it. I kind of said that in the earlier episodes, how I kind of want to build a community and things like that. But there's other reasons as well, it's kind of hinted at in the intro that, I just want to take a break from the hectic pace of life. I know it's a break for myself. But I also want to provide a break for others as well. It's kind of my way of giving back, I guess, if I can help someone out by helping them relax or just kind of take it easy or just kind of get their mind off the problems of life and of the world, then I think that's a good thing. But yeah, I've been working on a mission statement. So, if anyone has any suggestions on how to word it, let me know. But kind of that. But I want it to be just a single sentence that really encapsulates why I'm doing this. And if anyone has any suggestions on how to word it, on how to, I want to take that idea of kind of giving people a break. I even call the podcast "Take a Break," but I really want to kind of, in one sentence, have a mission that my hope for this podcast is blank, to give people some rest or to give people a distraction, I guess, in a good way. But yeah, anyways, that's what I've been up to the past couple of days. And also too, I have a community chat. we'll get to that at the end. But Yeah, we have a good community chat. Actually, I actually got an email, which was great. Very happy about that. But I'll talk more about that at the end of the podcast. So, but let us. I think that's all I got for the intro. Don't really have too much to say. Did I mention the time? Did I mention the time that I was recording this? I think I did. Anyways, it's 9:17 p.m. right now. So I guess just see how long I've been talking, and you can get a chance of when I started recording this. You can tell I'm kind of half out of it. You know what? I kind of like recording podcasts at the end of the day, especially at night. Like right after this, I'm gonna go to bed. But I like it. I think it has a more of a relaxing feel. I think if I, did the podcast during the day, or where it's like, hey, come on, guys, how's everyone doing today? Oh yeah. That's like my excited like radio voice, I guess. But I like it at the end of the day where we can actually, it just feels more like a conversation. We're just taking a break. I apologize if the volume kind of went up there when I did that imitation. So, but yeah, I think that's all I got for the topic of the day. Sorry, that's all I got for the intro. But yeah, let's move on to the topic of the day. So today we are talking about the Nintendo Switch presentation. So for those of you that watched the previous episode or have been following, Nintendo did their Nintendo Switch presentation on Thursday, January 12th, where they talked about the Nintendo Switch. They showed some games. They talked about more details, when it's releasing, the price, and things like that. So yeah, I actually did not stay up to see the presentation. But what I did is I watched it Friday morning. Most of it I watched it in parts. And yeah, it was well, yeah, so before I kind of spoil my thoughts. So I watched it, I think it was about an hour long. So there's a lot in the presentation. Now, what I wanted to do is rather than kind of break it down, because like break it down in detail, you can actually watch the presentation yourself. But also too, there's other videos there. If you're looking for a detailed summary, people have done videos like that and they've done it well. But what I can do is just sort of offer my initial thoughts and kind of just my gut reaction. I know it's been a couple of days before, but I kind of wrote down some notes. And yeah, so I just want to share my reaction. So here's sort of my take. So first of all, overall, I am very happy. Okay, I am very happy with the presentation in the sense that in my pre-show, I mentioned about innovation, and I was so excited that Nintendo was finally releasing a console that kind of had a normal controller that didn't have these crazy gimmicks. It's just here's a system with a regular controller, regular looking controller, and we can play Nintendo games, all the Nintendo games you love. And during the Switch presentation, it confirmed that that was the case. And it also confirmed that there was a lot of innovation. You could even call them gimmicks, but they're optional for once. Thank you. They're optional. So each, well, again, I'm not gonna go over what the Nintendo Switch is. So I'm assuming you kind of know what the Nintendo Switch is. So the two controllers at the side, the Joy-Cons, I think they call them, they are motion control. So there are games like they have this boxing game. Almost reminds me of Wii Sports, actually, the boxing from there, where the boxers have these long extendable arms that look like springs. I think the game's actually called Arms. But that is a completely optional experience. You don't even have to play with those motion controls and play. They also have these party games like 1-2 Switch, which uses motion controls. You can avoid all that. If you just want a traditional, classic gaming experience with Nintendo games, you can get that finally without buying a Pro controller or buying anything extra. Right from the box, you get a fairly standard controller, and you also get these controllers that could play those gimmicky games if you're into it, which is perfect. And there is a lot of innovation with the controllers. I won't go over it, but there's lots of buttons. Like each one of those Joy Cons can act as a single controller, so you're really getting two controllers out of the system. So there's a lot of innovation, a lot of potential there. But again, it's optional. You can play Zelda without swinging your. It's not going to force you to swing your hands wildly. You can just play it on the controller, and you can play it on the go as well, which is great. It's releasing. Ooh, don't. I should have. Hold on. Let me just. It's releasing. I want to say March 2nd. Hold on. Let me just look this up too. I apologize. I should be ready for. Shouldn't I? Let's see. Okay, it looks like it's really, yeah, March 3rd or around March 3rd, 2017. It's releasing, and it's $299 US. Okay, so here's my thoughts. First of all, the release date. I didn't realize it was releasing this soon. I thought it was releasing like, I don't know, maybe before before the holidays. But yeah, the release date is pretty cool. It's cool that it's coming out. It's not coming out with a lot of games. I think it's only coming out with 4 games, which, but I guess they want to get it out there ASAP. Um, and the price, $299 US, a little higher than I thought it would be. I thought it'd be slightly lower. Yeah, I don't know how much that's going to be Canadian, but yeah, $299 US. But you know what? It's a new console, and yeah, so prices. So the release date. My reaction to that is, wow, it's earlier than I thought. Price is not outrageous. It's reasonable. I thought it'd be slightly lower. And the games look great. Now, another reaction that I had was the battery life. I was very disappointed. I believe the battery life is 2.5 to 6 hours, depending on the game. And I believe they said that the new Zelda game would be about 3 hours of battery life when you play it outside of when you play it in tablet mode, as they call it. So the battery life was a lot lower than I thought. I thought the battery life would be like, well, again, I guess I was thinking of like a DS, but yeah, I was thinking of like a tablet. Like you can use that for like, what is that, like 8 hours or something. But when I heard that you can charge the tablet using a USB, like kind of like the one for your phone, I don't know if it's a micro USB or what, but I was like, oh, okay. You literally have access to that everywhere. Especially if people are always carry on chargers to charge their phone. I know I do. When I go to work, I always carry a charger with me. So when I heard, I was like, 3 hours. But then I heard, oh, okay, you can charge it on that USB. So you don't need a Nintendo Switch to charge it. So also the games. I guess, well, obviously Zelda, that goes without saying. Super excited about Zelda. I'm probably actually going to get that on the Wii U. I don't know if I'm buying the Switch right away. I think I mentioned that in episode 7. So I'll probably buy Zelda on the Wii U. And then once I kind of max out the value for my Wii U, I'll make the Switch, pun intended, I'll make the Switch over to Nintendo Switch. But Mario Odyssey, wow, I wasn't expecting a Mario game. That looked awesome. That looked great. They said it was a sandbox kind of type of game, like N64, where you kind of just roam around and enter levels. So that's gonna be pretty cool. And it looks like he's in like New York or New York-ish type city. So like to see Mario interact with humans and human buildings and cars and taxis was pretty fascinating. But yeah, Zelda. They had Splatoon as well, but yeah, Mario, it's exciting. Mario Kart, I'm not that. I'm not a big. Well, yeah, Mario Kart's okay, but I haven't really played Mario Kart since like the old ones. But just overall, I'm really glad with the Switch. Like, I saw the trailer, and I said, okay, I hope the Switch will offer a traditional gaming experience with some innovations on the side, and they delivered. It's exactly what I wanted. It's a classic gaming experience that you can take on the go, with some innovation there for the side, but they're not gonna shove it down your throat and force you to use it. You could probably play the Nintendo Switch without ever playing a motion control game. Or vice versa, if you're really into that and you want to try new experiences, I guarantee you that this will do it for you. So I'm excited for the system. I think it has great potential. I think this could be the one to really compete and bring back some of the old gamers, and especially once they like do like the virtual console and all that. Oh, another thing I want to mention was the online play is now going to be paid. So wow, that's I wasn't expecting that. I know Nintendo's not usually big on their online play, so they must be really confident that they're gonna deliver a great experience this time around if they're gonna actually make you pay for it. So that's interesting. I'm not a big online gamer, so to me, I was like, whatever. But yeah, I'm excited for the Nintendo Switch. I will probably get it eventually, and I'll be excited to play the new games, but also virtual console games. You know, I'm a big fan of nostalgia, as with uh, as with most things. So yeah, that's kind of my gut reaction with the Nintendo Switch presentation. So overall, I was happy with the presentation. Um, I found, well, I don't know, there wasn't a lot of applause. I don't know if the crowd was dead or not literally, of course, but or if maybe that's the culture there. I don't know if it's a cultural thing. I believe it was in Japan, but there wasn't a lot of applause. And you know what? When you watch the E3 presentations and the crowds kind of burst in applause when they play the music of a game that they recognize. Here there wasn't, there wasn't much cheering or anything like that, which lots of silence. But yeah, I guess that's I just found it kind of interesting. Like they would say, "Oh, here's this new game, check it out," and then just like silence. Whereas like E3, like you kind of play a little Zelda theme, and then the crowd goes nuts, and you can hear all the applause, "Woo, yeah," or whatever, right? So, but yeah, overall, a good presentation. I'm excited for the Switch, and yeah, I think it's going to be a great console and game and mobile console as well. So yeah, that's just kind of my quick thoughts. I know it's not that in depth, but I hope you enjoyed listening to my thoughts, and I think we're gonna wrap it up for the topic of the day. I don't really. I guess that was shorter than usual. What was that, like 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes or so, or less? 10 minutes talking about the topic of the day, but that formally ends the topic of the day. We're going to move on to our last section of the podcast, which is the community chat. And all right, so I got an email from a listener, which I'm going to read. So, first of all, for those of you that don't know, the community chat is where I interact with the community, with my listeners, with y'all that are listening to this. So, the way we do that is I read your emails, and you can email me at takeabreakpodcast@gmail.com. You can also look at that in the description. So yeah, send me your emails and I'll read it on air. You can, talk about, I might ask a question, or you can just respond to some of the things that I said on the podcast, your thoughts, your responses, questions, concerns, whatever. I'll read it on air and I will respond to it. Now, also too, you can also comment and send a YouTube message. I'm not guaranteed. it's not a guarantee that I will read those, but because the channel is so small now, it's pretty easy to maintain. So in the past, I've read YouTube comments as part of the community chat, but as this grows, I want to really keep it nice and simple. Basically, what I want to do is I just want to be able to go on my email, see if there's any emails, and that's the community chat. I don't want to kind of have to, okay, let me see if I have some emails, let me see if I have some comments, let me see if I have some YouTube messages, let me see if I have this or that or that. I just want to kind of keep it simple. But, for now, if you do send a YouTube comment, that probably will make it on the show as well. But yeah, so I got a listener email. Now I'm kind of laughing. So here's the reason I'm laughing. So this can be full disclosure. I know this individual that has written in. This is a great individual. I know this individual very well, and we'll just leave it at that. and that's it. So we'll call this this listener anonymous. And there's reasons for that, and also too, I did not ask this person to write in, so it was a pleasant surprise. I got this. They emailed this on Friday. So here I'm gonna read an email from a listener. Here we go, and I'll respond to it afterwards. All right, so this person writes, quote, "Hello, KC. I love the quality of your new microphone. You could really tell the difference with how the sound comes out. There's more clarity and a beautiful color to the sound. In response to your podcast regarding coupons, I want to share a restaurant story I just recalled where we used coupons and the experience turned out okay. The staff were really nice and the experience was just as good. It was in the fall of 2016 when my godmother and I went out for lunch with a group of people at Swiss Chalet to grab a bite to eat before going to watch our scheduled movie. She gave all of us a bunch of these 2 can-dine coupons, 1 coupon per 2 people, and that was what we used to order our meals. On top of that, some individuals in our group requested for some of the items in the coupon to go and other items to eat in the restaurant. Some asked for substitutions of items in the coupon orders, etc., and the waitress granted all of our requests with a friendly smile on her face. Anyways, after listening to your episode about how the waitress in your case got deprived of a bigger tip, I now realize that I stupidly made the mistake of tipping our waitress by percent when I paid for the coupon order instead of manually entering the tip amount. But I guess I got lucky because I didn't receive any dirty looks. Personally, I think it all depends on the restaurant you go to and the people you get, which will determine the reaction you'll get when you pull out your gift card or coupon to pay for your fancy meal. Some people are just miserable. Sorry, I didn't read. Oh, sorry. Some people are just miserable to the point where their happiness depends on how big of a tip they can make in one night. And others probably just love their job of giving excellent customer service to the point where they don't care about the money. I guess we just got lucky on our end. Happy face. End quote. So there's more, but I'm going to respond to that first part. Sorry that I interjected there. I didn't want to do that. So yeah, sorry about that. I was just laughing because I didn't read through this. I didn't realize that was in there. But people being miserable, that's a great line. Anyways, let me just stop with the email. This individual has written more, but let me just respond to that. So yeah, no, that's a great. And for those of you that don't know, that was in response to episode. What episode was that? What was that episode? Episode 5. That was to episode 5 where I talked about coupons and specials. So, okay, so this is actually kind of I got to make a distinction here. I believe I made the distinction on the podcast, but When you said here, I realize I now made a stupid mistake by tipping the waitress by percents when I paid for the coupon order. That's actually fine. Like, so I think I mentioned it in the podcast. Coupons and deals are kind of different. So, if you're at a half price wing special, I'm not gonna double the price and then tip on that. That's what I'm saying. They get deprived of a tip regardless, and I don't think I'm gonna, you know, calculate how much the meal would have cost without that special. I think that'd be kind of insane and would defeat the purpose of taking advantage of the special, right? But what I mean is, like, if you're using a gift card, that in my case is something different, because when you use a gift card, the price is exactly the same. The only thing that's changed is your method of payment. So basically, you could think of it this way. Say your bill is like $50. Using a gift card is the equivalent of a friend saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to pay for $30 for you, and you could pay the rest yourself. Your friend paying the $30 for you should not affect her tip. You know, you're still paying $50. It's just that the method of payment is different. So I don't know if that kind of makes sense, but that's what I mean. So the time to kind of use calculate the tip manually and not based on percent is when using gift cards. When you're using like a coupon, no, I don't think you should do it manually. I think tipping by percent is fine. But gift cards, again, I won't go into it. You can hear my thoughts on episode 5, right? Yeah, on episode 5. But yeah, I don't think the method of payment should affect the tip. But if it's a coupon, though, then the price is actually legitimately changed. So yeah, you can go ahead and tip on percent. So anyways, let's get back to the email. So she continues, quote, regarding the movie Sing, I agree with your review. They did a good job with the character development and storyline and had a mixture of music pieces to suit all generations, from Frank Sinatra to the modern Katy Perry. However, this Illumination film still does not compare with Despicable Me, Minions, or Secret Life of Pets, because I have no desire to buy their toys like I did with the previous movies. On the category of cuteness, I rate Sing an average 7 out of 10, Minions a 9.5 out of 10, and Secret Life of Pets a 9 out of 10. Overall, however, would I recommend Sing to other potential viewers? Yes, absolutely. In fact, I just recommended it to your mother-in-law last night when I was having dinner with her, as she is planning to go see it as well. By the way, she and I watched Lion last night, and we would highly recommend it for you. It's based on a true story, and without spoiling the movie, it's about a boy in India who wanders off and gets lost from his family for 25 years. The plot development and acting was absolutely phenomenal. After listening to your description of the Nintendo Switch, I almost want to buy it because the thought of me using it for my long flight to Europe in the summer sounds very appealing. But I don't think I will because the 2DS is still more practical for travel purposes. That's all for now, Casey. Looking forward to your future episodes. Happy face. Love and blessings, Anonymous. End quote. So yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's spot on with the reviews. I don't know if I would rate Minions so high. Minions 9.5 out of 10. I think Despicable Me would probably be like a 9 or 9.5. Minions would probably be lower rating. If I had to like rank them, I'd probably put Despicable Me first, and the Despicable Me movies, like 1 and 2, first, and then Secret Life of Pets, and then Minions, and then Sing. I don't know. I think the story about family love in Despicable Me is just spot on. And yeah, I'm glad the Nintendo Switch looks appealing. What else did you write here? I'm glad you liked the mic as well. So thank you, Anonymous, for this email. This was great. And again, full disclosure, I know this individual. but also I did not ask this individual to write in, but I'm extremely thankful and grateful that this individual did. So from the bottom of my heart, this is Casey saying thank you for this email. So if you want to be part of the next community chat and you want me to read your email, send me a message. takeabreakpodcast@gmail.com. You can kind of do what this listener did, and you can respond to this podcast, or you can respond to a past podcast. Anything you want. Or let me know your thoughts on the Nintendo Switch presentation. And you know what though? I was thinking about it too. Sorry, this is just a random thought that came. I was talking about how you're going to get 2 episodes in 1 week. Well, that never happened because I guess I got lazy and did not record on the weekend. Well, lazy or busy, whatever, however you want to put it. So it kind of worked out. I did that whole spiel about getting 2 episodes in 1 week, and you never even got it anyway. So, whoops, my headphones just came off. It looks like once a week is probably what's gonna happen. So, I'm just trying to think. So yeah, that ends the community chat, and I think that's gonna end the podcast. I'm just kind of rambling on at this point. But yeah, that was our episode 8. So yeah, I talked about the Nintendo Switch. We also had a community chat. I read a listener email, and yeah, you know what, I guess that's it. I hope you I hope you're able to take a break and listen to this podcast. I hope you enjoyed taking a break with me, just to kind of talk and forget about the problems of our life, I guess. And but yeah, you know what? I'm gonna wrap it up here before I start rambling some more. So thanks for taking a break to listen to this podcast. This is your host. That's like a tongue twister. This is your host, Casey, saying take care and stay well.